We can start now. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Group 5 discussion. First, I would like to introduce my group member, Chen Yizhi, Zhang Han, Lin Xi, Deng Xuanyue, Xiong Kaixuan. Today, we are here to talk about a goal that matters to all of us. SDG 4, quality education, especially, we want to focus on a very serious issue, technology fairness in rural area. We are living in 2026. We see AI smartphones and high-speed internet everywhere in the cities. So we often assume that technology has solved the education problem. But our group asked a simple question. Is there true for everyone? According to the latest research, the answer is certainly no. Geography, where you are born, still describe how well you learn. We found that urban students consistently get better grades in math and science than rural students. This isn't because rural kids are less smart. It is because researchers face what they call semester differences in resources and support. So today we want to go beyond this surface. It is not just about buying laptop. It is about the whole economy system. Kaixuan, let us start with the big picture. Your research looked at 22 different countries. Is the problem simply that rural schools are too poor to buy computers?
Thank you, Lin. That is the question everyone asks, and the answer is it is much complicated than just money. My research identified something called the dual digital divide. That means two single gaps. The first gap is the access gap. This is what we expect. The data shows that 68% of rural schools in developing countries do not have base computers. This is huge. Without the mission, you cannot even start. But the second gap is the usage gap. This is the one people ignore. Even when the government spends millions buys tables for rural schools, my data shows that 31% of rural teachers have never been trained to use them. Think about that. The school has hardware, but the teacher is scared to use it. They are afraid of looking foolish in front of the student, or they think it's too hard, so the tables stay locked in the cabinet. The assist is there, but the usage is zero. This means the money is wasted, and the students get no benefit.
Okay, that is a very powerful point. Kaixuan, so money is wasted because we forget the human element. Xuanyue, let's talk about the students. Kaixuan talk about the classroom, but learning also happens at home. So what is real tip for rural students after school?
Uh, Really, for many rural students, going home means stop back in time. The biggest issues my research found is called learning continuity. In the city, learning continue after school because students have their own laptops. But in rural families, a digital device is often a shared luxury. Imagine a family of 5 people. They have one smartphone. The father needs it for work. The mother needs it for communications. The student has to wait until late at night just to read a PDF file for homework. They don't have ownership of the education, and there is the internet stability issues. We found the rural network are very unstable. Imagine trying to join a Zoom class. You can connect but the video features. You reconnect and the audio cuts out. After this happens 3 or 5 times, the student feel frustrated and embarrassed. Eventually, they stop logging. So this better coordination actually widens the gap. It makes rural students feel like technology is a burden that slows them down, rather than a tool that helps them.
That's a description of the sharp phone. Really points a clearly picture. It sounds incredible, stressfully for a young student. Zhang Han, let's bring the closer home. You studied in Malaysia. Is our situation bad, or do we have different challenges?
Actually, Malaysia is a very interesting case. Many people think rural schools in Malaysia are very isolated, like they are deep in the jungle with no internet. Instead, research found that the government has done a good job with the infrastructure. If we only look at the physical infrastructure such as fiber cables, computer labs, and Wi-Fi, the rural schools are quite similar to schools in big cities. The government has spent a lot of money on this hardware, so on paper everything looks fine. However, one big problem is the lack of technical support. For example, imagine a teacher in a city school in Kuala Lumpur during a lesson. The projector stops working or the software crashes. She can simply call the IT office. With 10 minutes, a technician comes and fix the problem. The lesson continues with little stress. Now think about a teacher in a rural school. She faces the same problem like the screen suddenly goes black. But there is no IT office to call and no technician nearby. She has to try to fix it herself, even though she is not a technology expert. She feels stressed and helpless, and the students are left waiting. So, what happens next? The computer stays broken not for hours, but for weeks or even months. Over time, the teacher decides this is too risky. I will go back to using the whiteboard and marker. So the real barrier in Malaysia is not a lack of money for equipment, it's the lack of human support to keep the system working.
Okay, thank you, Zhang. That contains between 10 minutes and months of waiting time really explain why teacher give up. Yizhi, you have been listening to all of this. Zhang says Malaysia has capables, but globally, is that the cases? And how does it affect our big dreams for the future?
Yes, I want to expand on the global picture. While Malaysia is doing better than average, the global data is still quite grim. My research shows that 18% of rural students worldwide have no internet connection at all. Now, compared to the only 10% in cities, this 8% gap represents millions of children who are completely invisible to the digital world. And this brings me to my main concern about the future. We are all excited about the new media technology and AI, and we hear that AI will solve everything. But my argument is you cannot build a future on a broken foundation. AI needs huge amounts of data and high-speed internet to work. If a rural student cannot even load a simple web page because the 3G internet signal, how can they use an advanced AI tutor? It is impossible. So while the prospect of technology is bright, the reality is that we trying to run a race before we have even put on our shoes. We must fix the basic infrastructure first.
Oh, that is a very reality-grounded perspective. So to summarize the problem we have found, Kaixuan, teachers have hardware but no training. Xuanyue, students have no personal device and bad internet. Some schools have no technology support people. 意志, the basic global instructor is still missing. This seems overwhelming, but we are here to find answers. Let's us move to situation. Kaixuan, you mentioned training, but traditional training clearly isn't work. So should we do differently?
You're right, Lin. The old way of one-day workshops doesn't work. I propose a model of long-term mentorship. We shouldn't just send a trainer for one day. We should pair rural school with urban sister schools. Experienced teachers can mentor rural teacher via video calls or visits for a week to co-teach classes. When a rural teacher sees someone else using the table successfully in a real class, they gain confidence. They need to see how it works, not just be told that it works. We need to invest in human confidence, not just missions.
The covers the teachers for the students. My solution focus on the internet problems. Since we cannot fix the internet overnight, we need offline first technologies. The government should push for apps that work without a live connection. The student go to school use the school Wi-Fi to since download the lessons and homework. They are go home. If they have no internet at home, the apps still work. They can watch the videos and do the quiz. The next day when they go back to school, the app since again set the results to the teachers. This bridges the gap. Its initial learning con continues every without 24 hours internet.
Oh, that is very smart technology workaround. Cynic at school solves the home connected issue. Zhang Han, what about the broken computers? How do we fix them without hiding thousands of the new stuffs?
My solution is more focused on the cost effectiveness and the realistic. I propose the model IT support teams. For a small rural school with only around 100 students, hiring a full-time IT technicians is simply too expensive and not practical. The school doesn't face technical problems every day, so a full-time position is often unnecessary. Instead, we can hire a small team of 3 IT experts to cover an entire district, perhaps around 15 to 20 schools. This team travels from school to school on a fixed schedule. For example, on Monday, they visit village A, on Tuesday, village B, and on Wednesday, another school. Their job is to carry out regular maintenance, fix broken screens or projectors, and update software and systems. They can also help teachers solve small technical issues and answer basic questions. This system works like a flying doctor service, but for computers. More importantly, rural teachers know that the sport is coming. They no longer feel abandoned or alone. They can feel more confident using technology in their classrooms.
And finally, I want to talk about where to put the money. My solution is government subsidize broadband. We need to treat the internet like we treat the water and electricity. It's a utility, not a luxury. Once we build this digital road, then only then we can use AI. And here is the beautiful part. Once the internet is stable, AI can fix the teacher shortage. Rural schools often lack physics or chemistry teachers. AI tutors can fill this gap, giving rural students access to the same high-level knowledge as city kids. But remember, build the road first, then drive the Ferrari.
Okay, thank you. Those are very concerned and actionable solutions. We started this discussion by asking if technology is far. We often find out that it is not, but we also find that it can be. Let me summarize the key takeaways from our Group 5 discussion. First, Kaixuan showed us that we must move from just access to usage. Teachers need mentorship and not just manual. Second, Xuanyue give us the solution of offline apps to help students who don't have internet at home. Third, Zhang Han showed us that mobile support teams can solve the maintenance crisis in Malaysia. And finally, Yi Zhi reminds us that infrastructure is the foundation of everything. Our final conclusion is this: technology is just a tool. It emphasizes what is real already there. If we give technology to a bad system, it changes nothing. But if we support the people, the teachers, the students, and the support staffs, then technology can truly bridge the gap. Thank you, Tim, for your hard work, and thank you everyone for listening. Okay, that's all from our discussion.